I saw a beautiful woman and I just need to bust. Oh, I gotta come. Oh, I gotta come and I gotta hold it in. I'm smiling. Of course I'm smiling. We are going on a journey. Normally though, you see on a Freak Friday where I show you freaks some videos. We go through some YouTubes of food reviewers, arcade. But today we are going down the rabbit hole of semen retention. And boy howdy, do I have some videos for you folks. I'm putting up a disclaimer. You are going to learn some shit. You are going to understand retention and the benefits. So be prepared. If you're not ready for that, turn this off now.
I've tried every single personal development trend out there right now. I've tried cold showers. I've tried meditating every day. I've tried journaling. I've tried quitting caffeine. And I've even quit watching the dirty websites. And none of them have impacted myself and my life more than retention has. What's going on, everybody? It's Cole Hastings if you're new to my channel. Before we get into this practice, although I wouldn't even call it a practice at this point, it's more so just turned into a lifestyle. I want to paint a picture in your head for you of the old Cole, of how I was before starting like my whole nofap and whole retention journey. Now, about 5 months ago, I was nearing the end of my second serious relationship. And while I wasn't aware of that fact yet, I had all the characteristics of a drivenless feminine man. I was not off every single day, but I was still doing it once a week. And in terms of, I was watching it almost
He's censoring porn.
My justification for that was that I wasn't actually jacking off to the point.
He's censoring jacking off?
Off. It wasn't to that type of stuff.
So
I thought that it
finishing
wasn't
to the
doing
porn?
anything negative to me. Yeah, I know.
Wait a minute. What does he mean? I wasn't finishing to the porn. Is he's jacking off and then like as soon as he's about to come, he's like, look away. I gotta look away. Well, he run to the bathroom and squirt it into the toilet.
Wasn't to that type of stuff. So I thought that it wasn't doing anything negative to me. Yeah, I know. I'm shaking my head too. Ridiculous justification. And while I had goals during this period, I would put them to the side a lot of the time during the week just to go hang out with my friends and smoke weed and play video games. And this wasn't
also,
a once a week thing.
Maybe it's just me, and maybe I shouldn't judge, but I feel like watching porn and not jacking off is some freak shit.
And it wasn't a just during
just jack off.
Thing after I got
just
all
jack
the work
off.
done. I would go over their house
Thank you,
around
Anonymous.
3 or 5 p.m. and this would sometimes be around every
It's
other
okay to watch
day.
porn. Porn's fine,
day,
but
I had so much untapped potential.
don't just watch it
that
and
I
be
kept
like, hey,
running
I guess
into
what am I
spilling
gonna
my
do?
seed, smoking weed and doing the dirty deed. First, let's start off by talking about urges. Controlling our sexual urges can be so difficult. I know everybody struggles with this, and it's a lot harder when you're constantly viewing sexualized things. In our hypersexualized culture, it's really hard to take yourself away from these things. And this is even if you don't
He's
watch
got some hearts on there.
if you view pretty much any of those things, you're gonna have these uncontrollable urges. Well, usually uncontrollable. Our culture is telling you basically to spill your seed and to have tons of sex, and is trying to take that masculine energy out of you every time you turn your head. Basically, it's the way things are set up in our culture and in a lot of other cultures throughout the world.
Yes,
and now
you're gonna
because of
learn.
retention, I'm so
Thank you,
much
Sneeze, for
more
the
in
100 bits.
control of my urges. If I
It's
feel
true.
that strong urge coming on, or if I get super
just
horny
start
from
leaking.
seeing like an attractive woman, I'm much more able to keep a strong flame to not let it control me.
That's so funny. It's so funny to me to like just to say like, oh, I saw a beautiful woman and I just need to bust. Oh, I gotta come. Oh, I gotta come and I gotta hold it in.
And especially above all,
Just like
not let
having no self-control.
and I don't
Just
let it
being a
control
fucking
my
weirdo.
action letting go, which was a big thing for me, and I'm sure is a big thing.
As
for a
soon
lot
as
of
I
young
see a
men out
woman,
there.
I need to
They
come.
don't think up here. They
Maybe
think
the
down
problem
here,
isn't with
and
them
I believe
or
that is a
with
skill
jacking
that
off, and maybe
every
you have
boy
some
wants to
issues
master
yourself.
if they want
Thank
to
you,
become a
Liam
man.
Bear,
And
for playing
retention
that.
is one of the best ways to help with that. Even though I was getting less hours of sleep a night, I still had more energy to do things, to be productive throughout my
I hope he
day.
hit his
Now,
head
you
there.
might be asking yourself, why would retaining lead to higher energy levels? You need to think about it like this. This is something I discovered on YouTube when I was like researching the benefits, and it just clicked for me after this. You have to understand that your skin is a life force. It has the ability to
It's a life
produce
force. Here,
a
we're getting
human
into the
being
deeper
produce
stuff. We're getting
life.
into the
So when
real
you're
deep stuff
constantly
here, chat. So
releasing
pay attention.
This life force, this energy within you that has enough energy to create humans, then you're inevitably going to have less energy throughout the day. I know this might sound kind of crazy to a lot of you guys, but the way that I view it now through, you know, listening to that through a YouTube video, it makes so much sense to me. Maybe that makes a lot of sense to you guys. There's obviously not going to be any science really to back that up, so don't ask me for studies. This is just something that I truly believe. Take this
There's
seriously.
no science
Your
that can back
skin
this
is
up.
powerful enough to create life. Think about that for a second. And because you have more life force in you, your testosterone, your masculine energy, what makes you masculine, what makes you a man, increases in
Chat,
you.
we're
You
only
have more
starting.
of a
We're only
drive
starting
for life.
this
Now, what do you
journey,
do with this
so
newfound form of energy? You
be prepared
become
for some of the
much
videos coming up
more
later.
Purpose-driven, guys. If you are out there and you cannot find your purpose right now in your life, and you just feel lost, I think that retention is one of the best ways to figure that
there
out.
are
Before this 90-day time
retention
period, when I
guys that
decided
talk
to
about
start retaining. I was starting
drinking
to stop
cum,
smoking weed. Now I
and
have
it doesn't
completely
work the
same
same
goes
because your
with
body
alcohol, and I
processes
also,
it
like I
out.
said,
That's
was
why
practicing no fap, but I feel like the retention just
you
put me
can't
on a higher
come and drink
plane
it.
of reality. Let me explain. And so because of this, I started seeing my friends less often and other things that weren't related to my purpose less often. And because of that, my brand,
I'm
my
a
business,
loser.
my wealth, everything.
I'm a loser
has
and
been
everybody hates me.
increasing. I have always been more emotional than the average man. And I want to make an important distinction here. I think that men should be very in touch with their emotions. Let's talk about crying, okay? I think it's totally normal and okay for men to cry in appropriate situations. But I was the type of dude to cry over inconvenience.
We know exactly where this picture's from. He sent this to his ex-girlfriend and had the caption, "Last time I cry over the last time I cry over a girl." Oh, goodness.
All these little things like once every 2 months. As a guy, that's kind of not normal. And like I said, men should have a grasp of their feminine energy. I think that every man possesses some of this and should be aware of it, but you can't let that overtake your masculine energy.
Why hasn't it helped
was almost
you
like
grow a
my,
beard?
I don't know this for sure, but I feel like people can sense that I'm more confident now. I feel like that people can sense that I have more energy trapped within me. I shouldn't say trapped, retained within me. So they feel that energy that I'm giving off.
What they
now.
see
feel that I'm attracting
is a big
higher
wet spot on the
vibration.
front of his
You guys know
pants.
I'm pretty
Every time he
on this
coughs.
channel. So I feel like that's in me. But now that I've been functioning on
He's
a
not
higher
oily,
plane,
it's
like I said,
cum.
for so long now, it's
His
like
cum
it's
is
not something
seeping
that I
out of
really
his
notice
skin.
in myself anymore. But that does not mean that it's not there. And I strongly suggest all of you dudes out there who have no purpose, who have low energy levels within their life, who just don't feel confident with themselves, you start at least with nofap, and then you work up to retention, complete retention. This practice, I cannot tell you how much it has changed who I am. I mean, look at, you guys saw the thumbnail, right? You guys saw this thumbnail. Look at how different I look from before I started doing this to after. That
Exactly the
alone
same, just tan.
should show you that I am and have become
You just
a more
tanned.
masculine person through this practice. Leave a like if this video helped you and was
If you-
entertaining, and I really
So when
hope
you
that a lot of you guys do this.
ejaculate,
So leave
your
a like
semen
on it.
has
Push
melanin.
this out to more men who need to see this, because God, a lot of people in today's
And so you
society,
become
a lot
pale.
of dudes need to see this. So leave a like for me, would appreciate it a lot. Thank you so
A
much.
lot of people need to
for
see
watching
this.
the
A
video.
lot of
till the
people
end.
need to watch this
That
video
is really going to help
and
with the video.
understand,
So thank you guys so much. Love you guys.
why
Thank you for continuing the support on my channel.
you need
and
to
I will
not
see you
come.
guys later. Have a great rest of your day.
Buffalo. He's a Buffalo guy. Let's go Bills. Benefits of not ejaculating for 30 days. Explained in depth.
Hello, friend, and welcome to this video.
I love the charts. I love the charts so much. They're my favorite when these guys have these whiteboards. And they describe everything. It's fantastic.
Video where we're going to talk about the benefits of
Sovereignty,
ejaculating
self-full,
for 30 days,
easeful
why you
power,
want to try this practice, and
homeostasis. What do you think that means, brother?
if you're going into a
What do you think
no-fap
homeostasis means? I can't wait to find out.
over the course of 30 days.
Oh, this one's 20 minutes long. We'll strap it, everybody.
The benefits of this practice are real. They're legit, and this is why all over the internet right now we're seeing no-fap and semen retention articles and videos.
Actually,
and testimonials just
there's a lot of thought
all over the place, and this is awesome.
in the
And
semen
we need to
retention
talk
community.
about this as
You can
practice.
have sex.
And so if you
just can't come.
without ejaculating,
You cannot come.
there are two
You can
main
have sex,
strategies
though.
that you're probably thinking about using. One of them is no-fap, right? And no-fap is basically where you're saying,
Which sounds
no to
awesome.
masturbation, no to sex,
Sounds great.
no to sexuality in general.
I love-
You're just tabling this part of your life.
I love to
Focus
have
on
sex.
every other aspect of your life. And that's great, and it's valuable, and a ton of people have
not
incredible
come.
benefits from doing no-fap. The way that I'm talking about today,
My
what I
favorite part
personally
of
practice
sex
and what I teach people is
It's all of it, not the
and this is a
last
little different from no-fap,
15
in my
seconds.
opinion. So, all that being said, now that we've framed this whole 30-day period, let's get into it from ground zero, from the moment of ejaculation.
Ground zero, a little offensive.
So, let's say that you do ejaculate. What physiologically happens? How does this set the stage for the rest of these 30 days?
Can we get a zoom
When
in?
you ejaculate,
There we go.
You're telling your body basically mission complete. You have impregnated. I mean,
George
if you
Bush
haven't
is
impregnated,
on
you didn't
the
want to, but
on the
biologically,
ship.
You're telling your system that
saying
you have
mission
created a
complete.
procreative being, and you have impregnated something, right? This sends your system into a state where there's a rush of neurotransmitters and hormones that go through your brain and your body that say relax, chill out.
So like, these guys just used to jack off like 7 times a day,
You
right?
know what I'm talking about, right?
They used to
The
just beat their dick
refractory
raw.
period. The refractory period happens after you have an ejaculation.
And now it's just like,
And
well,
interestingly, it's not
I
just
can't
the 20
anymore.
minutes
It's
you
bad.
use
It's
it,
actually
right?
bad. So I gotta
The
not,
refractory period actually lasts
I gotta not do it.
and remember, this is your
And it's
body
like, instead
saying,
of just
"Ah,
like
you've completed your
slowing
mission, you can
down,
chill
maybe
out."
going a couple
So
days.
really, this is
I
not
gotta go
a
30
space-
days. And no,
it's not
it gives me
a space of
superpowers, by the way.
performance, right? The refractory period lasts for days, and it's not a space of peak performance in your life. And since the refractory period lasts for days, if you're somebody who's ejaculating
Bakulu,
3
yes,
times a week,
we're retaining.
you're
We're supposed to
constantly
retain.
staying
Keep
in
it all
this state of
inside.
non-peak performance. And this
Then
is a
yes,
state a lot
pretty
of guys
much.
get into.
I think
I spent
they
years
started
in that.
jacking off to the point where they're
So it's,
bleeding.
no shame
And
at all. But like wake
they
up
did
and
that
be
for,
aware
like,
of it, because
15
this is
years.
Really important.
And now they can't come at all.
Ejaculation hangover is a state of just suppressed vitality, suppressed awareness, suppressed clarity. There's not
Ejaculation
brain fog,
hangover.
that. There's confusion. There's not.
I have
so much
ejaculation
direction,
hangover
motivation,
because
and
I
life.
came 3 days
And
ago.
This is a state
I'm-
a lot of guys are because just nobody talks about it.
I'm imagining
At least-
getting pulled
at least
over
talk
by the
about it.
police
We're
after you
not
jack
having a
off.
conversation right
You're
now
jacking
because
off.
people are talking about it.
Jacking off
But
after
even still,
driving
this is a
after
state a lot of
coming.
guys find themselves in.
I.
And so
God
it's
damn
really
it!
important to be aware.
I can't even
just
think.
Aware of where we're starting from an ejaculatory
Ugh.
orgasm. Just think about this. When you have an ejaculatory orgasm, your system is like,
Driving on an
and
an
then
ejaculation
you're in
hangover.
your lower
It's
state, you're
illegal.
in a peak performance state. You're more
We're
relaxed,
learning,
you're more
Firehead
chilled
Max.
out.
We're learning.
So
What's the
eventually
problem?
You're gonna come back up. You know, you're gonna you're gonna maybe blow, right? Or if you do a somatic practice like qigong or yoga or some forms of visualization mixed with movement, then you can actually
Welcome back,
integrate
4 months.
this
Thank you,
energy
that Prime.
into your system, like, into your bones.
What?
In a way that's not going to feel like that. It's going to feel balanced. So
Did he say if you're like,
getting
if
all
you
rigid and
don't
feeling
do
like you're about to
yoga,
nut
you're going
everywhere
to just cum your
and
pants?
ejaculate uncontrollably? These practices help you come into a space of ease, and they're incredibly important
What
to
does
do
that-
throughout this entire 30-day period. So in terms of what you might experience in
Okay.
your body in this first week, you
Okay.
might experience more tingles, more charge, and just a general feeling of most men are just staying in this state week 1 or in the perpetual state of ejaculation hangover.
Perpetual state of ejaculation hangover. So
what's going to happen in the second week is you're going
I'm
to start
perpetually
feeling
ejaculating.
pressure in your system. There's
An
gonna
ejaculation hangover
be an increase in charge, an increase in energy, an
lasts,
increase in vitality.
what,
And
an
if you
hour?
haven't been doing a practice like qigong or yoga
After a
to
shower?
integrate this, it might feel uncomfortable. You might be agitated. You might like feel just like a little
A lifetime.
on
Okay.
edge, you know? And that's why it's
Interesting.
really, really important, especially in the second week, to do practices to integrate this energy, qigong, yoga, and also in this week. Unless you're really, really practiced with qigong and yoga, and even then, you're probably going to have to do some intensive physical exercise to land this energy in your body, because it's going to be a lot. So I recommend that people go do weight training in the gym, especially doing things like squats and lower body
it's only
leg
safe to do weight
exercises
training
to really,
if your nuts are full of cum.
get into that.
Otherwise, you're not
that
going to have the
state.
energy to
And
do it.
also go about
I
how
wonder
to
if any of these guys ever
rest
talk
all
about the
time,
benefits of like a
figure out how
chastity
to harness
cage
their sexual energy,
for
and
locking your
use
shit
their
up.
willpower to direct
And then,
that
you know,
into
hey,
everything that they
if
want.
you're having trouble,
Really,
just
really
lock it
powerful
up,
practice.
right?
So one of the main benefits
You
that
can't touch that
probably
thing.
feel
Nothing's
in
gonna
two
work.
is You're going to start radiating.
You can grab it all you
You're gonna
want.
start radiating
Nothing's going to
So
happen.
what does this mean? This means when you go out in public, people are going to find you more attractive. And it's not just sexually attractive that I'm talking about. I'm talking about also in potential business situations.
But is that, or is that more like a cheat code?
Partnerships. Like, you're going
And
to
you
be
don't wanna
a more
cheat, right?
attractive person because you're not just letting your energy go mindlessly, because you're
There you go, Alex.
bringing
It's
it
like a-
back in.
it's like a
You might
turtle
walk
head.
A little bit taller. Your
It only
shoulders
comes
are
out
gonna
when
be
it's
more
needed.
back, and people are going to feel
Otherwise,
that. You're gonna have a
your
different
penis goes
presence to you.
inside.
There's going to be a different glimmer in your eyes, and people are not going to be able to identify what exactly that is, but they're going to feel it and they're going to be drawn to that. And that really starts to happen in this second week. It's beautiful. It's magical. And any of
Would
you
it
watching
surprise
right now
you,
who've tried
chat,
this, like, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
If everyone
It's
who
really
makes
cool.
these
It's
videos
really, really cool.
believes
And so
that
if you are practicing semen
women
retention
can
and you are
sense
practicing
when you're
having sex
practicing
with a partner
semen
all the
retention
time,
are more
it
and
takes
are more attracted to
serious
you,
commitment and willpower to not ejaculate.
and they sincerely believe that.
Speaking
Would it
during the
surprise
second
you?
week, because the pressure is on.
That
The stove is hot.
that's what
the
about
pressure is high, and
50% of the videos
you just
are.
gotta keep yourself in check. So I recommend that guys stay as
The
far
other
from the point of no return
25% of it
as possible, just so that
is
you don't
about,
get into that temptation. Moving on to week
how you
3,
get
we're gonna
superpowers.
see really incredible benefits
And then the
that
other
start happening in your
25%
system on week 3.
is
If you have been
what
doing
happens
the
after they
practices to
broke.
integrate this extra energy and charge into your system,
Semen
you're
retention.
going to start feeling really powerful. There's going to be a deepening sense.
And if you think I'm kidding
power.
about them
Not
calling
like
it
power over,
superpowers,
something like that, but like
just
power
wait.
emanates. It's not in this cycle.
Alex
of
Thorne,
you
they still do not
ejaculate,
come,
you
or so they
ejaculate.
say.
You're
There was
more
one
you're
guy
getting more
that
into
Drew,
a
rapping for Safety
higher
watched,
state
and he said he had like
consistently. And this presence, there's a depth to it.
9
And you're
years
gonna notice that you're gonna
of
start feeling
semen retention.
alignment, with your
And I
life
think he was
purpose,
married,
your life
and because
vision
he explained
more fully than maybe you
that
have before.
you can
I know
have
that
sex
whenever I
with
do
your
this
wife, but
practice
you
around
can't
30
come
days
unless
without ejaculating,
it's for procreation,
usually for me,
because
around
you're
this period
losing
is when I start to
your,
feel somatically in my body,
your manliness.
I feel like I'm imbibed with.
Would it also surprise you that
whatever I do, whenever I'm
they,
walking around
all these
or
guys
I'm
also
moving,
believe
I feel like I'm
that
guided
women
by that
are
purpose.
stealing your
It's really incredible.
testosterone
And
when they make you come?
this is
And
not
that's
just because
a
you're not
trick that
ejaculating,
they're trying to
it's
do to
because
you.
As part of a healthy and integrative semen retention practice, you're also identifying all the areas of your life where you're leaking your sexual energy and your life force.
I'm not saying it's true or not.
That
I'm
could
just
be
asking if it
excess drinking,
surprised you that
excess
that's what they say.
smoking, through staying up late watching Netflix, to eating a shit ton of sugar, right? So we're cutting all that out and doing that in addition to harnessing our sexual energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to change something fundamentally internally, and that change usually lands around this week. Usually starts to land, and some
I
amazing
know.
psychosocial benefits that happen.
There
from
is.
this
I
are
watched
that
a
if you
little
have
bit
been
of a
used to, if you're used to looking forward and ejaculating
woman who
regularly,
talks about semen
you're gonna start
retention.
noticing that the way you perceive other
Alex,
people,
no, I've explained that you can't drink cum
your perception of
to gain the
sex that
power,
you're attracted to is going to change. You're no longer gonna
because
see them
your
as
body
sex
digests
objects,
it in your
but as
stomach.
people.
Now, if it's
being,
inside of you,
this is going to pave the way
that's
for
how they
so much
absorb
of a
it.
different quality of
So I guess
interaction.
you would have to
It's powerful.
put it inside
I know I keep saying
another
that,
orifice.
but you just gotta try it. You just gotta try it.
I think if you
And
get
sex actually gets easier
injections, that'd be
for a
fine.
lot of guys in this third week, because again, their system is realizing that ejaculation isn't the goal of sex. What is
Yes.
the goal is actually pleasure and energy. And ironically, this is the thing that's going to allow you to get into this state of multiple non-ejaculatory orgasms,
Ejaculation,
orgasms,
not the goal of
all that
sex.
stuff that's seen as, like,
Believe it or
holy
not.
grail of sexuality,
Listen,
that is,
babe,
you know,
babe.
tantric
I
stuff,
love you,
right? It is
but you're not
seeing
understanding
pleasure as
sex.
the goal,
It's
not
not about
ejaculation.
you coming.
And so
It's
that's
just
a
about the
whole other
pleasure.
topic for
If
about
you're
10
feeling
other
pleasure,
videos.
that's fine.
But just wanted to throw that little bit in there.
Actually, women
And
can't
you make
come.
it
So
to the end of
that's
the-
even
if
better
you've
for
been doing
you.
practices,
You are
integrate all
great
this
because
energy,
you can't
you're
come.
gonna start
Unlike
to
me,
feel
who's
sovereign. You're
burdened,
gonna have a deep sense of sovereignty in your body. And
burdened
here's
with
what
his
that means.
evil power.
Feeling self-full. Not needing anything else externally. You do recognize your interdependence, but you don't need something from somebody. You don't need sex from that person. You
No.
don't need sex from that person. You don't need alcohol. You don't need this.
It's great
you don't need
that
sugar.
these
You
guys
don't need
walk
this
around
movie.
and
You
just
can choose
look
to
at a
do
woman
these
and go,
things,
"I
but
need
there's a
sex from
feeling
her.
of sovereign
I need sex from
completeness that
her."
starts to come in later in the
What a
in the
normal
states, or
guy.
in these
What
30 days.
what a
That's
cool
so
man.
incredible.
What
And
a
along with
great
that
way
is
to
this
look at another
infinite
person,
referencing.
another human
I
being,
want you to
and
think
only
about-
think about sex.
Imagine a king. Imagine a king with
The thing I
things
keep thinking
is
about
greater,
this is, like,
and my
what about
ability to
guys who
process and be
can't
aware
come
of everything is
due to
located
like
in
a
more
medical
than just here.
issue,
It's my
or the
whole-
fact that they're like
it's my whole body. It's embodied
severely
presence.
disfigured
Magic.
or
Those are some things you can expect over
intellectually
30 days of
disabled
not
or whatever.
ejaculating.
Aren't
And
they
if you go
automatically
beyond 30
benefiting
days,
from all this?
without
Yes,
ejaculating,
that's
a lot of
why.
guys actually say that they
That's why they're the
plateau,
strongest.
and they don't have this same like increase in
Like-
all of these clarity, motivation, energy.
This only
power
seems to
that happens in
affect
these 30 days. They start to plateau,
Guys like this.
and they
Like,
wonder if they're doing something
yeah.
wrong. And I just want to throw this last little piece in there that
Let's hear this piece.
Taoist sexuality, which I really resonate with.
Resonate
has
with.
the
I'm trying it out.
philosophy that
It's
there
been
is an
2 minutes since I
ideal
last
ejaculation
ejaculated.
frequency for
Okay.
man.
So starting now,
And that
you'll
means
start to feel
I'm
the
already
power build.
feeling so
There's a
much more
certain amount of
powerful.
days that would be
Well, you're
ideal
still
for
under
your
the
system
hangover.
to
The
go
hangover is
between
3 days
ejaculation.
long.
And only you can figure that out.
So in
Taoist
3 days, you're
sexuality,
gonna need
they
to
say
talk
that
to me
they have
and
different
see how you
formulas
feel.
based on your age and the seasons and all this stuff. But
That's right. That's why SSRIs make you feel
but
good.
I'm a fan of clearing
It's not that it
pipes.
affects your brain.
You know, I'm
It
a
just
fan of letting the
lowers your
energy
sex
It-
drive.
it-
go and
So you have more
recirculate.
semen.
It keeps
I
the
personally
it
find
shuts
that
your
my
nut
ideal
off, and so
frequency
you
is
can't
about
release
14
the
days.
the
I
demon
do every
semen.
once in a while, I do
and,
this practice of going 30 days
makes you feel
just
better.
to get more in tune with these energies. And I find that the more times I do a 30-day practice, the more this becomes my baseline, and all these benefits from the last bit and the third week, like they come down into this area. It becomes more of my
Hi, guys.
homeostasis, and I'm able to ejaculate once every 14 days and still feel all this stuff.
Oh, wow.
Because I've done this 30-day stretch many times
I like
in my life.
him planning
And I,
out
you know,
when
I
he's
do
gonna
like
jack off.
ejaculating. I think it's hot. I think it's sexy, and I love it. And I love the.
Don't say
It's
that.
sexy.
It's so sexy when I ejaculate.
It's really beautiful. I just think it's super, super important to do it only with intention, and to do it being mindful of everything that I just.
Yeah, because
talked
it does
about
sound
and
cool.
all the implications of what can happen
It's
when
so-
you have.
It's
an
so
ejaculation.
sexy when I'm
I highly
ejaculating.
encourage you to do an experiment going through 30 days without ejaculating. Again, I have a free 7.
I look so
You
sexy.
can get most
ejaculating.
of this stuff from
Video.
stimulants.
And also, I have a
Well,
21-day
but then this is
course
natural. This
if
comes
you
from
wanna
the earth.
Really deep dive into this stuff. If you have any questions or thoughts or comments, or if you disagree with anything, please leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you.
Here's my
Share this
comment.
video with
Thank
anybody
you.
who
This
you
is
think would
changing my
benefit
life
from
as
it.
as it
Thank you
is.
for being here. Thank you for going through all this.
Thank
think
you.
it's
I
a
can
really
feel my
important
balls refilling.
conversation that we need to be having as
Nature is
humans, but
healing.
Primarily as men, we need to be aware that our sexual response system
Yes.
impacts our entire life, and it's not just isolated in our genitals. There's
Mhm.
incredible
old
power
people?
there. So,
Well, they come.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
But-
So like my 90-year-old grandpa, who I'm sure has
see you
not
next time.
ejaculated in many
Cheers.
years.
He is the strongest man
benefited from
alive.
all
Yeah,
this.
he basically has superpowers. Why do you think he lived to 90? If you ejaculate
true.
every
That's
day,
true.
if you ejaculate every day, you will not live past 50. That's just true. So if you want to get to 90 and 100, in the Bible, they never jacked off. And you see, like, Abraham lived to like 700 years old.
The art of semen retention and how women can sense it.
Women can sense it,
I'm
chat.
not saying women will point out the fact that they'd be like, yo, you want semen retention? I could sense that. It's more of a subconscious action type of thing where they're attracted
Hugh
to you
Hefner
and they don't know why they're
Never
attracted to you.
came.
No. That's why women love
It was
him.
a charade.
You know what I'm saying? The way I manifested Queen, right? It was me being on my purpose and actually tapping into my Kundalini spirit, which is my semen or whatever like that. And I mastered.
I manifested my
art
wife by not
having
jacking
authority
off.
over myself. See, most men can't get the type of women they desire on the porn sites or on the modeling sites and stuff like that.
Modeling
Because they don't
sites.
have authority over yourself. When you have authority over yourself, you ultimately.
I
have
go to
authority over
victoriassecret.com.
your life. So, being that, all these men.
And I
right
start
now,
jacking off immediately.
they had authority over their lives and careers and stuff like that, where they didn't value the women over them, right? They didn't value the allure of a woman over their energy that they can drain, right? And ultimately, they started manifesting all these beautiful women inside of their life, and they nurturing the.
So,
the
what's this
loyalty,
guy's
You know
deal?
what I'm saying? The givingness of a woman.
What's his success
Coming from
story?
man, the
He
divine
got a
man.
girlfriend
Want
because
that. And
semen
it all
retention.
stems from controlling the energy that you have below you.
Women can sense
Grounding
when you're
yourself.
retaining
You
your
have to
semen.
acknowledge it, don't get me wrong, but you also have to know when to
Women
control it and use it
innately,
for creativity.
like he said in the beginning, it's not, they're not going up to you and saying, "Oh, I can tell you're retaining," but you have a glow about you, and it's sort of like a magnet,
You control your sexual
and
urges to
they're
where you
pulled
gotta
towards you.
Learn how to transmute that to a more creative
See?
type of
Transmute.
rather than making or just releasing. You then manifest certain blessings into your life that you always thought you can get. And then next thing you know, you like,
Where's the
how
woman
did I
though?
manifest her in my life?
right out of the picture.
Hindsight, right? You're like, oh,
I
that's
see
the
some
semen retention
like
being on my purpose. See, when
big
you
booty
go
babes
with
on his
holding your
thumbnails,
semen,
but
you
click on it and it's just him.
Yeah.
You're telling God, you're telling
A
yourself,
lot of these,
I value
they
myself more
have some
than
really
anything in the
elaborate
world.
thumbnails, and then it's just them in a car, or
anything in this world.
them in
to
like
get better.
a really
You wanna better
bad looking
yourself around
basement
people that
or
understand
attic
people
closet.
go through porn addictions because they come from a background where, sexuality is something that's overly used, where creativity is not overly used. So then you come from
Plays
a family
flag
background where
football.
everybody's over sexualized. You learn sex at an early age. All you know is sex, and you put that as the standard.
He's
of
into that.
Who you are as a
Well,
person, sex.
it's exercise, so
and that's where it stops.
I mean, most
Yeah,
of these
good for
guys,
him.
all of
That's
these
sex,
guys
sex,
are
sex,
just
sex,
like
sex,
obsessed
right?
with
Just that.
bodybuilding,
Attract
exercise,
more higher frequency
and
women that wanna pour into you because
finding
you're
ways
not a
to
slave
improve
the ball,
themselves.
you're not a
But
slave to the
it all just
personality. When you're not a slave
when
to
it
that
when they get to that
right?
point and they
Then
still
you
don't
have
know how to
savings,
like
right? But you have people
speak
who are willing to follow
to a
you.
member of the opposite
They
sex
think
like a
you have something
person,
powerful too.
it becomes it turns
You have
into
something powerful to you.
either
They just
like
automatically pour into you.
MG Tao shit
I know
or
men right now
semen
who have
retention.
women that just want to be in their life just because of how powerful their energy is.
It's either I'm going my own way, I don't need women at all,
They know how powerful you are.
because they won't talk to me even though I work out and I'm a nice guy. Or okay, well I need to stop jacking off, and that women will notice.
Have a piece of your energy around them.
Good looking guy. He's
When you-
fit.
when you
Yeah,
realize
exactly.
that, when you acknowledge that fact, you understand now how important saving your energy is, right? And preserving it and actually.
And it's also just like
Clean up the
a
hair a little
around
bit.
you to
it's also
feed
just
off
a
those
dumb
things.
guy
You can
thing.
have a piece of your energy, because next thing you know,
It's dumb guy
when I'm making
science.
this video and people love the way I make this video, the energy I have behind
This
the
guy's
video,
interesting. He's
people
been
are
going
gonna
for
do
3
better.
years. He
Mhm.
doesn't get
Semen
a lot of
retention does
views.
it.
He gets
It
like under
attracts
100 views
better
usually,
things in your life, not the worst things. It
which is
attracts
weird
the
because
good
usually
things.
these
It
guys are trying to
attracts the ones
scam
you want.
people. They're trying to sell an
You think
ebook,
women
but I
ain't-
don't see.
ain't big on energy. Women
see.
love energy.
No, he does have a
Why do you think
website.
they so emotional? Because they feel emotions.
Mentorship
Emotion-
program.
energy
Yeah,
is-
I was gonna say they all have
energy
websites and
is-
shit.
Or emotions is energy and motion. So when they love
you can
energy
buy
like that, they're very in tune to that. So if you come up with some
a shirt
energy
that says
they've
"Life
never
is
seen
speedy,
before,
so
you're
go."
like, this is different. This is some type of different approach I never felt before.
And you can
it's
do
because you
Zoom
want that-
consultations.
Mhm.
Zen, you're
$50
chill,
for
you're not
30
over-
minutes.
You're
Mhm.
not overcompensating your lust for that woman. You're not trying to thrust yourself into her life. You're actually taking it easy. You lay back, you cool, you have that abundance mindset. You know what I'm saying? You know that you could get anything in abundance, but you know, and she knows that. See, women
She
know
knows
the guy
that.
is abundant because he's not giving off the vibes that an average guy would do. Always wanting to have sex, always wanting to just get straight to the chase and everything like that, not filling her out so she could fill you out, not trying to build a reciprocal
Some women have special
relationship with
glasses
her.
where they
Like,
can see all
women
your
know.
stats.
So when you want semen
Like they can
retention,
they
right,
can see your
calm
semen
down
meter.
to
Well,
where
they sense
got
it. They can
laid
smell it
back,
on you.
laid back
If
and
you've
person.
ejaculated, you don't
So
have
say if you
that
approach a woman,
semen pheromones coming off of you.
you're not giving off those
And so that's why you need to hold it in.
letting her know.
And,
Just by way of your body language
that
and
attracts a
everything that
woman.
you wanna- she's gonna
Because
sense
they
that
look at
you
your
wanna
balls
engage
and they
with
see,
more because
oh,
you're not
those are
talking about
huge.
verbally and
Those are
energetically.
pulsating. It's been 3 days
All around the board.
since you've
Even my girl,
busted.
she's
That's
like,
awesome. I love that. I really like
all the
that.
other guys because
Let me talk to this guy and not the guy who's just got little walnuts down there.
the energy feels I felt before.
What
you
girls
all the
like
same.
is when you come
can't
very
just
fast
literally
and there's a whole lot of
move
it.
all of them out the water. And I'm like, that makes sense. 'Cause
That's
I was on
right.
semen retention at the time. See, so you gotta understand, women can sense when a guy's on
Women's
their
favorite
purpose,
sex
and
act
when
is a
guy's on their
15-second
purpose, a woman always
blowjob
wants to point to the
like
guy
a
who's
full
on his
cup
purpose
of
because
cum.
she can be the beneficiary of those fruits of the labor that the guy is putting down for her and him. See, you
That's
gotta be
important
on your
because,
purpose in
when you're
order for
retaining, you
women
can also
to
leak.
wanna
And
pour
that's
into your
also
purpose.
attractive to
A lot of
women.
men got it backwards. They wanna
Women love going on dates with the guy who's
that peak over
just
the
pooling cum
important
into his
with
boxers
purpose
on the
first,
front of his
purpose
pants.
first over the other.
Just walking around with a stain.
After you focus on your purpose,
It's very attractive.
because
Can't women see this?
I used to when I was
He's doing this under his real name.
No, women can't. Women can.
Any
All the women in stream aren't seeing a video. They're all going, "What is going on? I don't know. There's nothing happening."
Like he's on Instagram and stuff. At some point, you're gonna have to show this to whatever woman.
It's hidden. Women can't see it. They need their glasses on, their special glasses on to see this sort of thing.
Control over himself. Women love a man that has control over himself and what goes on.
That's
around
right,
him.
Nieves.
That means he has a backbone, and when you have a backbone, that means they can depend on you for some type of security or some type of protection.
It's just the room.
some
You
type
don't
of
see the
way
guy.
they can pour into you. And then when that happens, you have a way easier.
Wait, what is this guy? What is it? What's happening? Why are we just watching this blank video? I don't understand.
Period. So yeah, man, semen retention. Women can sense it. Women can definitely sense when you're on that, man. And it works. So try it, man.
Try it.
On your purpose a little
Everyone
bit
try
more.
it.
Do
Everyone
little
try
bit
it.
more.
Do a
Try
little bit more.
harder. You probably
Do a
not
little bit
trying
more
enough right
by
now.
doing less.
Try a little bit hard. Maybe you got to go that extra month. Maybe you got to put in.
Oh, well, you should never read the comments on a YouTube video anyways, usually.
Just pour into yourself more so you can have the.
Try a little bit more by
He
doing
has a
less.
video coming up the Rocky Steps.
All right.
Ooh, let's go.
Speed.
All right.
It doesn't come up on YouTube as a song, but it does have the song in it.
Semen retention saved me from depression. Once,
Uncle C, back in the office, and in this video
Uncle-
today, I'm going to be discussing
Uncle Seed.
exactly what retention has helped save me from. But not only that,
Johnny Night Live, welcome
video, I'm
back with our
actually
Prime
going to be
3 months.
describing
Thank you.
my movement. Because as I've approached 100,000
S3X.
subscribers, what I'm starting to realize is that not only is my content radically
This guy's
different from
handwriting
the
bothers
majority
me.
of
That seems like it
most
should be part of it if
dating
you're like
channels,
getting
dating
control of
content,
yourself and
like
fetishizing competence to this
relationship stuff, but
degree.
what you're gonna have to understand
Oh,
is
he
that
spelled
I'm here
paradigm
to
wrong.
completely shift the way we
No,
do
it's a new.
But he's got like
He changed the paradigm
Cause
of spelling
masculinity
paradigm.
and make things healthy again, so that way we can.
Like he writes
succeed,
like
and we can
a
actually feel
serial
good. Now,
killer
first
cutting
off, let's
newspaper
dive
letters
into
out.
retention. What is retention? Retention is
He
not
writes like a
just-
guy who
it's like
needs to come.
Uppercase,
Thousand
uppercase,
trillion
lowercase,
videos on
uppercase,
this.
Yeah.
lowercase.
Now, why
This is
does
the
this
same
actually
guy
help with
that we watched on
depression or
Sunday
anxiety
briefly,
for me or
who
for
had the
anybody? Now,
back,
first
like,
off, no, I'm
the
not
whiteboard out.
depressed, as in, like, I'm sad, but you get it.
Yeah,
Everybody
he
has
just
ups and
he
downs.
writes like a guy
Everybody
who
has
was like
history
is
of
thinking
high
about
ups.
coming all the
Every day-
time
everybody has
and has to
history
do
of
these
low
videos
ups.
so he doesn't come.
What this has helped is this has helped me.
I need to
become
spend
stable.
An
And it's
hour
helped me
recording
become
this video
stable.
and then 12 hours
The fact
editing
that I'm
this
not
video
putting
and then I go to
sort of
bed.
feelings or pleasure in
It's not even consistent
self-gratification.
either.
No,
Meaning that
not
it's
at all.
helping me
Like he
propel my purpose
capitalizes the
and
D's in the middle of
sacrifice at a
understand,
deeper
but
level.
not
And I'm not
in the middle of
necessarily
confident.
dependent
Well, and
on
like
either
dating and
a
content
female
are in
giving me
cursive
pleasure
partially.
or self-pleasure.
Yeah, why is that
And
in
this is very
cursive?
important because you're gonna have to understand this. What feels good is typically not.
It's not
good
like this
for
was
you.
rushed or whatever.
But
Yeah,
this is
right.
a
He's like, oh, I gotta
And
get it
however
out.
long you want writing this.
Aside from the overall gist of today's
They
video
need this video.
in just a second. Now, before we begin, fellas, I wanted to quickly announce that registration for my men's
Is
1%
S3X some sort of,
program is now available, which means if you're looking to
acronym?
potentially
Oh,
work
good.
within for my men's
Or is he trying to
1%er
evade a word
attraction.
filter?
I don't know. Without doing how Casey is teaching men the 1%er way to be full stack in their masculinity, to attract sexy women, develop unshakable confidence and build a masculine physique that makes her drool. That makes her drool like a dog. That's a nasty way to say that. I hate that. Without doing cold approaches, affirmations are crazy pickup techniques. Why is... Oh, okay, I see.
If he's going after women who drool a lot, I
Yeah,
don't like that.
yeah, exactly. That's not good.
He's hitting up the group home.
The program is now available, which means if you're looking to potentially...
I need a slobber. I need a girl who just slobbers all the time.
And I want you to go down below and book a
I want a girl who slobbers like a
Now,
Rottweiler. A big
what am I
T-bone
doing
steak.
with this channel? What is the whole premise of this channel? The premise of this channel is to actually change the way how dating is happening with men and with women.
He says
Okay.
channel.
We can make things healthy, we can make things stable, and guys can get success and truly be confident within themselves. In order for me to truly show you what it
That's
is
right,
that
you
I'm
don't know.
doing, we have to first
It's
look
not
at
hard.
typical dating
It's not hard at all
Okay, what is typical dating
to
content?
date
What are men
in
typically
a certain sense, because you just have to treat
Chances
women
are
like a
99%
person,
of the time,
like
men
a
are
real
looking for
person,
success
instead of just some
in
object. But
current
it's very
times.
hard for these guys,
Okay, what is
and so
current
they
times?
have to
This is
find a way to cope.
2020, This is 2021. This is how can
This
I
is the same guy
create
who
a
on
kind of
Sunday
bubble and
on his
image
whiteboard
and
said,
Twitter,
"Women
Snapchat,
equal human," and was like, "Hey guys, listen, I know this is gonna blow your mind."
That's my favorite Slipknot song.
How can we do this and still succeed? Like, you got to understand that typical dating content there.
Like, the
what most men are
grossest
doing is
people
they're
have
taking the
sex.
current times that are
Like the kids
a
in
bit
anime
screwed
club
up,
in high school, they
a
had
bit
more sex than
unhealthy.
anybody.
Yeah,
And what we're doing is we're
Band
teaching them
kids.
how to have success within them.
Band kids,
And
yeah.
oftentimes what we're doing is we're
just find
desensitized
another
for the
weird
quick
person.
thrill of pleasure. Now, I do not necessarily know how much you actually.
and it's okay to have
understand
sex.
this
Just
compared
do
to
not
others. This is
come.
very
Never
fast.
come.
Like, I'm going to tell you what's
Ever.
going to happen if people keep doing this. There's going to be massive issues. Like, the amount of issues within everybody is going to completely triple within the next decade. That's just my prediction, because what feels good is typically not good for you. And if you don't have the strength or the will, and if we do not have strong men
Interesting.
to lead us in a way of positive masculinity.
I like that thread
what's
from
going
a
to
couple
happen is
weeks
we are
ago where
now
someone said, I
submitting to
wonder
what
if the
current
people at
times are."
hotels miss the
It's
anime
bullshit.
conventions.
Oh yeah.
And then it was like 100
Quote, unquote,
hotel
alpha
employees
to
being
get
like, no.
S3.
Yeah. Why would we?
You have to understand. Every single time you take
They
a
leave,
step
like,
forward
blue
within
wig
your
hair in
confidence,
the
you take a
drains.
step forward within your masculinity. You're
It
looking
stinks.
to level up your purpose. You want
They
more
make
women.
it
And since
stink.
You want more women.
Make the room stink.
I
Get them
don't
out of
know
here.
how to tell yourself you're not in a scarcity mindset. They are truly the prize, and you know it. And because this is everything you're studying, this is everything you're doing.
Those
this
are the
is
best
everything
because
you're
it's like
becoming,
people
to
who
get
are
more of
leaving their
this,
house for the first
that
time.
is
Yeah.
naturally
Like it's
pedestalized.
like their first
And then you know what
vacation without
happens is
mom and
your
dad.
value as a man
and
within
staying at a
your head,
hotel.
while you're deep into your
So they're gonna
subconscious,
trash it.
decreases because now
Yeah, and it's usually like what, a few people to a room, so they get like 10 people and like 2 queen
They're probably
beds.
gonna, like,
going back to current times.
You're
in
probably gonna drink for the
2021.
first time.
I
Too.
Yeah.
understand there's people that say, well, Casey, you can't shift it, and you can't change it.
You're the
Bullshit.
one bit
Give me
DeLorean.
some time here. Number 3, understanding quote unquote
That's true, full
female
scrotal.
nature.
Anything
Okay, once again, if you're studying
good
female
is
nature,
actually bad, and
you're
that's
trying to
understanding
women,
female
without
nature.
understanding how to fully be the best self of you as a man. You have to understand, once again, look at what we're prioritizing, look at what we're pedestalizing. This is a broken way of thinking.
Pedestalizing.
And last but not least,
Pedestalizing.
developing confidence to be S3 actually attractive.
S3X.
This
S3X.
is why you're
Hey
being
babe, you
becoming
want
confident. This
S3X
is sole
tonight?
purpose, once again, is to get more women, interact with more women, flirt with more women, get a girlfriend.
Why can't he
These
take the
things are
hat
great,
off?
but what
Because he has no
happens
hair.
is this starts to consume you, and this
Is
is
he
what
bald?
You become.
No, he's got like hair in the
What is
back,
the whole
but
purpose
he's probably like
of
balding
being a
and
1%?
very insecure
What is
about
the
it.
whole purpose with being full stack? Why have I made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
1%
of these
movement,
videos?
full
It's because
stack.
I'm trying to actually make this right again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he
You
definitely
must
is,
understand
which
what I'm
is
actually trying to do now.
that's
make no
normal.
mistake,
Very
this
normal.
feels good.
but
And I
He's-
had my
if
time
if
doing
you're all
this.
about
I've
confidence
had
and
my
shit,
time doing
like
this for
owning
years
yourself
years
and
I-
being
like,
confident,
Yeah.
don't be hiding your hair on
everything
me.
that you could imagine in the book I've done, and because I've constantly put pleasure first,
Mm-hmm.
it's led me to open up my eyes and realize what actually has to happen. Now, what is a 1%er? A 1%er is a man who's full stack within his masculinity.
Makes sense.
He's not submitting to current
Adds
times,
up.
He's leading his own path.
Sure.
And because of this, he's more strong and he's confident
more
than
strong.
he ever has been before. So look at the shift that's going to happen. Success in current times is typical dating content. What am I doing? I'm trying
What does that
to
mean?
shift the paradigm
I know you explained it, but I wasn't
fit
paying
what is needed.
attention.
You understand this? It's not about fitting the times. What it is about is
Alpha
it's about
in
developing
or purpose.
a new way of being. And
Stop
because of this, here's
rewarding
what I
bad
came to the
behavior.
conclusion.
Do not.
When most are becoming alpha to get quick S3X, all we're doing is we're rewarding bad behavior. And in reality,
Understand male
I'm trying to
nature.
get men to become alpha in their purpose and stop
Oh,
rewarding
our
bad
purpose?
behavior.
Is this
you
supposed to
have
be, like,
understand, their majority
oh,
of
you
men,
are
when I say
purpose?
Majority, I'm talking like 90-95% of men.
Okay.
Probably even more.
Yeah.
They're pissed
Right
off
here.
that women are more promiscuous today than
Does
ever.
this work if you don't have
And since
balls?
they're more promiscuous today than ever, they get pissed off.
Maybe?
And since they get pissed off, they desensitize themselves.
I'm so pissed off. I'm part of the 95% of males that are pissed off that women are having sex.
They desensitize themselves
It's
for 1,
nasty.
2, 3, 4 months.
Quit having
Just like all
sex.
these other guys have.
Quit having that
Now they're
sex.
ready to get out smashing and
You know,
slamming
Yeah,
and
like
that's
y'all
just
don't
old.
have sex or anything unless it's with me or something like that.
Okay, cool. Let's
That's
think
so
about
cool.
this for a second.
I love this
If
guy.
all men got on this movement,
He's so
if
smart.
all men told themselves,
Casey
hey, I'm gonna
Xander.
stop rewarding bad behavior.
Yeah.
I'm going to unsubscribe from some type of only
No!
only
No!
something. I'm
Bad
going to
behavior.
the app
Do
and
not
more
get hard.
valuable.
Do not get hard.
If every man told themselves this, it would take 48 hours for women to not become so promiscuous. That's all.
Can't
it would
see
take.
it.
That's all it would take. Because you have to understand is that
I can't
she's
see
going
it.
to follow suit, and because she's following suit to what's rewarded, you have to understand if the way she knows she can get men is through posting scandalous
So
pictures.
where are the big
recording
booty
stupid
bitches this
videos,
guy has?
these things like taking these different angle selfies where they smirk and smile and pop their ass out. Like, you got to understand, if all men would
If you're gonna
stop
talk this
swiping
much,
on
there
that,
better be a
if all
picture
men
of
would
him
stop
having sex with
subscribing
10
to that,
girls
if
at
all men
once
would
or
stop
something.
looking at it, if all men
TT
would stop
Gamer,
looking at it,
welcome back.
stop
Prime
looking
4
at it,
months. We're
stop
learning about
rewarding bad
semen
behavior. My
retention.
prediction is if all men did this, it would take
The
probably
importance
1
of
to 2 days
semen
for them to completely
retention.
quit, and them to find out what is the next thing.
Women
got to
stop being promiscuous.
Hey.
That was
Well,
just
what is that?
invented
Yeah.
in the last couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the whole
Because as a
thing.
Man, if all you need is a big booty,
What-
and her to ride you real
Hasn't
nice
been
and
something
sweet
men have been
in order
trying
to
to
be
solve
happy and
without,
satisfied and in love, you got
success
bigger
for
issues
10,000
here as a
years.
man than just women. So what am I trying to do?
If all you want is a big booty, and you know, all you want is just to have sex with her, you got a problem. That's a problem.
Forward in a direction that represents positive masculinity.
What does that mean?
Hookup culture.
What does that mean?
This
What does
will
any of that
show you
mean?
Whether you want to realize it or not. And not only that, I want men to have the confidence to crush.
Are you
in
allowed to
life.
get fucked
What
in
was
the ass?
Premise of this video? The
Not if you
premise of
come.
this video is to stop rewarding bad behavior. And if you
No
reward
one's
bad
allowed to
behavior,
come.
What's going to happen is
Here's
that
the thing.
Nothing will change.
You can't come.
Nothing will change.
You just can't. Don't. Keep
And
it
you're gonna
in.
be the same
It's
boat as you
healthy.
always has been. Now, how does this tie into retention? Because this is the first step. The first step is to value your seed, value the essence of yourself as a man. And if you can't do that one sole fact, it's going to be ridiculously hard to have an entire paradigm shift. I hope that this makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
This is going to take a while, but make no mistake, it will happen. If you like the video, I want you to hit the like button.
Totally.
Comment and subscribe, and we will see you.
It totally
next
made sense. Who was lost by that? How to talk to women, why all women friend zone you, 99% of men. Look at that chart behind him. Fuck. Well, I gotta save that.
Oh man! I
We're
feel
back to
like
this guy.
Video is going to make quite a lot of people in the retention community mad or angry with me.
Uh-oh. No. And he's glad.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Cole Hastings. This channel is all about fitness and self-help, and today we're
Cole.
talking about my retention journey and how it ended about a month ago after a 108-day streak. And since then, I feel like my opinions on retention and the whole community surrounding this has changed quite a bit, so I want to go over that and go over if retention
I
really did
came
anything.
one time,
So I guess
and
I'll just
I felt really good, and so I
the
kept
day that
doing
I
it.
relapsed. I did not watch porn.
His nuts
I did
fell
not
off.
Yeah.
They got too heavy.
So I guess you can
The end of my
guess
journey.
what I was doing based off of what I just said there. I just don't want to say it because I don't want to sound like a douche. I'm just gonna avoid saying
Thank you,
the
Colts
actual
fan.
thing. And I don't think that retention doesn't work, or that no FAP doesn't work, or any.
Yeah,
of
you
these
have a
things
YouTube
related
channel
to that
about
doesn't
semen.
work. You need to watch this whole video before you leave a comment.
He's hesitant
or
about saying he
before
had
you get
sex.
angry at me, because the
He doesn't
power
wanna
of
seem like a
NoFap
douche.
And quitting porn addiction is extremely real, and The way that addiction actually works in your brain is
not real.
it pretty much destroys any other part of your life, and you can't really get
Sorry, but it's not
pleasure
real.
out of any other part of your life as much as you used to because of porn. So what porn does, when you watch porn, you are using something called mirror neurons in your
Yes.
brain, and basically these are the same things that we use to learn as a child. Essentially, mirror
it's just a
neurons
URL.
make you think you're doing the activity that you're watching. By watching porn all the time, you are telling your brain that you are having an infinite amount of sex and that you can get an infinite amount of girls. And so how does that translate to real life? Basically, it's causing men to not want to pursue women, and it's also causing much less of a drive in men because
Wow.
they don't have that natural biological urge to go out and seek a mate.
I wonder
And this
what it would
controls
be
a lot
like
of
to have
other
like
areas
the
of our
amount
life
of
as well in a positive way. So this is why
dopamine or
makes
whatever
men
that you
less
could get addicted to
masculine,
stuff.
more emotional, less purposeful.
Like, how do you
within their
enjoy stuff
lives.
that
And
much?
when you watch an insane amount of chemicals like
I think-
oxytocin, like endorphins, are released. So basically,
It's
what you're telling your brain is
released.
you're having a bunch of sex.
Yeah,
And
I don't
when
know
you are constantly watching
how you can get
that is why
addicted
you
to
can't
something
get pleasure from any other area of
that
your life because nothing compares
is not
to the
actively
chemicals that are
changing
released when you're watching
your
it all the
brain.
time. So this is why I say that no
Right?
fat and quitting
It's-
addiction
Yeah.
in particular.
Sorry.
definitely
Like,
people
changes
get
people's
addicted to,
lives,
like,
and it's
Minecraft
scientifically
or
proven
something.
Yeah.
to change people's lives.
It's
I know
like, what
that
are you
You're not
I'm saying
addicted. You
with
just
my
can't
last
stop
video.
playing
How do you
it.
have that much
People
fun
come
with
and saying
anything?
It's
that
not
it's
it's not an
been
addiction.
proven, you know, holding in your seed.
Like, even
Sorry.
stuff I
actually
enjoy, I
increase
barely
testosterone
want to do
levels.
it.
Honestly, that might be true, and a lot of the effects that I felt with retention might have just been psychological and might have just been placebo. I honestly don't really know, but even if that was the case, I would still
No,
want to
sorry,
do
just stop it.
because placebo is still something that
You can
is
get addicted to alcohol.
what
You can
think
get
is
addicted to
what you
smoking.
become.
You can get
So,
addicted
retention really got me out
to
of
pills
a
because
terrible
that stuff
mindset,
will
and
change
even
you.
if it
That will
can be
physically.
scientifically proven that it like actually biologically changes you.
How about a guy like
mindset
this, but he's
change
This
telling
is
me to
not
become an
biologically
alcoholic?
changing
did
you.
biologically change me. So how did I feel after I relapsed? Honestly, I felt great. I felt like it
Are there
was
guys who think
something
that drinking
was
alcohol all the
finally
time is
time for
actually
me
good
to
for you?
do. It
Yeah,
wasn't
me.
forced. It
They sell
wasn't
ebooks about how to
something
become an
that felt like
alcoholic, how to
it
increase your
completely
alcohol
took
tolerance.
control over me. I actively chose to do it, and afterwards, because it was such a natural way of releasing my seed, I felt great. I didn't have any like brain fog or anything like.
Porn
people
addiction
say
is just
after,
like,
you know, you bust one.
You don't have a
you're
hobby
super tired
aside from
afterwards.
jacking off.
Yes, that's probably true, but probably
Sorry.
just for fapping and for like
But
stuff like
find a
It's
hobby.
easy to do,
having
and it's
sex
available.
is
Yeah,
totally
find a hobby.
natural
But if you're doing it, like,
thing,
20
and I don't
times a
think
day,
people
like-
should be
No.
completely rejecting that.
What are you doing?
from
Do
their
something
lives.
else.
I am going to explain
Become an
as we
alcoholic.
go
Clean up
further
your
into this
apartment.
video. So I didn't
Yeah,
have
become
any
an
negative
alcoholic.
side effects, and nothing changed after I
Start
relapsed.
smoking cigarettes.
And again, now you understand why I'm saying like relapsed. It's because I actively chose to do this thing, and it was a natural.
Find a real
way of
one.
Releasing my seed. It didn't feel wrong in any way. So if nothing changed after it happened, does that mean that my whole retention journey was just for nothing?
No.
Absolutely not.
See?
I think every man in the modern world should still try.
Horse Sweat, thank you for the 5 months. Welcome
a
back.
year for like
Let's go.
30 days,
Freak
just to
Friday,
make
we love
sure
it.
That they have control over their sexual urges because,
Mm-hmm.
like I said in my previous video, everything right now within our society and within our culture is hypersexualized and trying
is
to
that?
get
That's
you
a honey
to
locust.
spill your seed. So having control over that is
Classic
one of the
salt-tolerant
most
tree.
powerful things that any man can do in this day and age. And in order to
This is the
even
only
know if
time
you are in control of those
the
things,
world has ever
a
been
lot of the times
hypersexualized.
we don't know
This is
that
the
we
only
can
time in
control
history
ourselves
where women have been sexualized by
try
men.
retention for, you know, maybe
It never existed. Porsche Bear, welcome back. 4 months. Tier 1, thank you.
That I got from retention were
You got to
from
give stuff like
no
a
fat and from
100-year
quitting.
lead time
For
before saying it's
retention,
addictive
solely
or it's
from
ruining
retention, I
society
do
or
think there
whatever.
were some things because it was such
They
a
said that about
challenge for me
everything.
to
They said
do
that about
and to
newspapers.
Yeah.
completely say, okay, I'm
Everything's
not going
addictive
to
and everything
partake in
ruins
any
society.
sexual activity for
Anytime
3
they invent
full
something
months,
new
I
and a
think
bunch
was
of
just
people
such a
do it,
big
it's like, we
challenge,
shouldn't be doing
knowing
this.
that I could do that and
If it's
master
probably
that
giving
type
you
of urge,
cancer.
that definitely helped me become less emotional and understand within myself that I have way more control over my life and what I do than what I think, and that's why I believe that I was able to get so much more done on.
But there's only one thing ruining society, and that's coming.
mindset. Not
So.
necessarily that it gave me
What are
more
you getting
energy,
done?
Not necessarily
Push
that
ups.
Making
it,
videos
like,
about
is
cum.
attracting
Yeah.
other people into my life,
Well, that's
but
what he's
All these
getting
guys
done.
do. They're
that I've
improving their
developed
life
through retention,
so they can
I
make
think
more
is
videos
what
about not
really
coming.
All they
changed
do
and
since
started to
jacking off is just make
rapidly
videos about
in
not
my
coming.
life
That's
for
it.
me. And
That's
now
literally
if
it.
A woman who I was attracted to wanted to have sex with me, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's
They
fine. I'm
probably
not
are
actively
jacking
trying
off,
to
right?
completely
For sure.
get rid of every
A lot of these
sexual
guys are
activity.
liars.
And honestly,
Without
I
a
don't think
doubt.
people should be doing retention forever.
There's
I
no
don't
way
think
to check, and it
celibacy
doesn't matter anyway.
forever and ever and
I,
never having sex
each
with
morning and
another
night, I weigh their
is
balls
really a natural thing
to see
do at all. You don't have to be
if they've been
celibate to
losing
live
their
a
seed.
spiritual life. I know a lot of people do it for spiritual reasons. You can not reject this part of your life and still be spiritual. Everybody's got sexual urges, okay? And you do need to know how to control those, but at some point you got to understand that humans are here to reproduce. We have been biologically made to reproduce and to find a mate, and to completely reject or put away
He's a
that
vegan
part
guy, which
of
is
such a
interesting.
natural thing of humans is pretty dumb. That's a sex is
That
a
goes
totally
along with
natural
health stuff,
thing.
but
Where it
usually
gets
these guys
bad
are meat
is
guys.
in modern society.
Yeah.
And with, you know,
Tofu's
jacking
not
off
vegan.
all
His
the
name is
goddamn
Seasoned
time.
Tofu.
No
On
fat will
Instagram,
make
yeah.
you
He's
more
a.
confident and
It
more
falls under the
confident
same.
because you'll have that confidence and it'll make
I
you
guess, I
better
don't
with
know,
girls,
just
and maybe you'll even
way, though,
attract
like,
more girls into your life. But don't
as,
get
like, an
twisted,
all-meat
okay?
guy.
The reason you should be doing anything like this,
He's
no
just
fap,
he's
retention,
extreme with
quitting,
everything, and
is
it's all
for
about health
yourself.
benefits.
It should be to better
They like
yourself. It
programs
should
that you
be
can do
knowing
where
that
you
doing these practices
don't eat
is
stuff
going
or
to cause
don't
a
do stuff,
greater
and it
mindset
supposedly
shift
changes your
than
life.
BJ
anything
Greasley,
else
welcome
will
back to Tier
do
1
if you're
21.
really
Thank
That's
you.
what they're
addicted to
actually
these
addicted
things. And you
to.
should do it
Yeah.
because, okay,
Is the
I wanna
idea
find
that
my
they can
purpose.
improve their
I
life
really
by,
want
like,
to
not
experience
eating
growth every single day of my
peanuts
life,
or something.
and that is why I'm doing it, not for
Yeah, it's the
getting
same, like,
more
that
girls,
guy
not
who,
for
like,
the
eats,
superficial
like,
things
raw
that feed
meat.
your ego.
Is
You should
like,
be
yeah, this is the
for
healthiest thing in the
yourself and
world,
for
actually,
developing
and
things
that's why
greater.
I'm
The girls
so in
thing is
shape.
just a side
And,
piece. So yes, retention does provide benefits.
it's just
Whether
a
all of those
myth
benefits
of
are from no fat
finding
or
a better
just
way to
from
live.
a mindset shift.
It's a
that
placebo.
Yeah.
Controlling yourself so much
They
that you have to
enjoy
do
the,
is because
the
of it.
feeling
I
of
don't
improving
know. I
themselves.
mean, I can't really prove these things, but I'm just going through my experience and why I don't care that I relapsed, because it felt like such a natural thing.
But
I felt
Relapse.
great.
semen retention is
I want him to
real.
explain
I've
this
seen
to,
so
like,
much.
a heroin
Something that
who's homeless.
and
Like, yeah, I
practices
relapsed,
that spawned
and
in
nutted.
society today are a couple of groups which I'm just like,
Relapse
listen,
Anonymous.
you guys think you're masculine doing this, but
Just a
it
bunch
comes
of
farther
guys.
from
Narcotics
the truth.
Anonymous.
So first
Bunch
off,
of guys saying,
we're
yeah,
talking
I
about
relapsed.
incels. Most of you
I,
guys have heard of incels,
was in the
like,
bathroom
people
at work and
voluntarily
had to come.
think that they are never going to find a romantic partner, and so they just kind of like give
I
up
saw a
on
picture
it.
of
That
Tara
is not
Reid on my
masculine
phone.
at all. Feminine nature makes up 50%.
It's that one where it's a
of
nip
this
slip and it's all
world.
fucked
You
up.
are basically rejecting or giving up.
I just
on
couldn't
50%
control
of
myself.
the world. If you think you can never get a girl and you never master that part of your life of talking to girls, of attracting girls, and finding a partner who really elevates you to the next level, then
Why are we
you
looking
can't
at this
really call
church?
yourself a man.
'Cause it's
And then
spiritual.
there's another movement.
I don't know.
of men
Oh, I
going
see.
their own way. This is even worse than incels. It's basically just a group of men who advocates to completely separate themselves from women because they think
I mean,
that
he's
modern
right
society
that
has
incels
destroyed
and
women,
men going their own
like
way
feminism
are
has
losers.
destroyed women. Okay, there are
but
things about
he's also a
feminism
loser.
that I don't necessarily agree with, but I think that things are evolving, that the world is evolving, and that completely rejecting that evolution, which is natural and which is a part of life, and not adapting
So-
to how women are changing in our modern world is, again, not masculine. Both of these movements are basically people just giving up in that area of their life and saying, I'm never going to be able to conquer this. Screw it. I just hate all women. And it's developed such a hatred towards women, as if like they've turned into terrible devil people.
Yeah,
These
but
two groups,
you
it's not
have
good with them at all. And I think
the same
that a lot of
hatred.
people
It's
see
just not
retention
as
and use that
outward.
because of this. They're like, because
You think it's
screw women, I'm
disgusting
done
that a
pursuing
woman
for the rest of
would
my
show
life.
off her
I'm not
body
gonna
on
get a girl.
Instagram,
There's nothing
like in a
amazing about
bikini
that,
pic. You
and
think it's the
you
worst
really
thing
want
ever.
to
Dirty
push
Burger, welcome
yourself
back with that
even
Prime, 6
further
months.
and adapt to
Yeah,
what's
why is this the
happening
only
in
thing that
this
gets
world. Then
recommended to me?
don't
I don't want to
prevent
see it.
yourself from
He
pursuing
just-
women
he
and
gets-
developing a healthy
He follows all these
relationship.
accounts and then gets
There are
mad that
plenty
these
of great
women
girls
are just
still out
like,
there, no
ah,
matter what
gosh,
you
damn
think
it.
modern society has done to women.
And then he gets mad at an
You
incel.
going
Oh,
through
you
a
guys hate
terrible
women because you
heartbreak
say you
is
hate
not
women,
bad
even
women
though
or
I,
what you
everything
see
I
in
say
the news or in society about
implies that I do not like
This is
women.
probably the last video I'll make on retention.
I doubt that.
Specifically, I'll still talk about porn addiction, nofap, and
I'm looking at that Tara
hypersexualized
Reid nip
culture
slip.
in future videos, but that's probably the
It
last
says,
10
in an
videos
interview,
that
Reid
I
said
will
that she
make.
was
Thank you guys
devastated
for
about the
watching.
accidental
Leave a
nip
like if
slip
you
and felt
enjoyed
that the
it. Leave a
photographers were
comment if you don't
disrespectful,
agree with me.
laughing and
If you
giving
wanna
high
express your
fives
opinion
instead
about
of letting
all
her
the
know about the
things that
wardrobe
happen on the internet
malfunction.
with men, and I hope you have a
But
good
you're
rest
supposed to
of
be
your
no
day.
fapping and not retain your semen, so don't do anything else.
I guess she got it fixed. They did another surgery. But man, like, she doesn't even notice her tit is out. She just sees all the photographers laughing and giving high fives. Hell yeah!
Thinking has gone into sex
What's going on, guys?
without purpose, without procreation,
Here's one of our brightest minds talking about
which
semen
which
retention.
is actually quite a silly action in the absence of procreation. It's a bit silly.
Well,
So why are you doing it? Because it makes the
everything-
limbic system happy. That's why.
That's why.
But it's pretty absurd, really.
Well, the whole of existence is pretty absurd in some kind of sense.
Yeah. But I mean, this is a lot of computation has gone into
Computation.
more of that, with procreation not even being a factor. This is, I think, a very important area of research by NSFW.
Joe Rogan looked so
An
good before he
agency
lost
that
his
should
hair.
receive a lot of money, especially after this conversation.
I propose the formation of a new agency.
Oh boy.
Man, he is so boring.
Yeah, he sucks, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's so funny, and like the other guy's like clearly not wanting to talk about it, and like go down that road. And he's just like,
He sounds
We
like
don't
he's
have-
full of shit.
yeah, clearly. We have done lots of computations trying to figure out how to have sex. Boring.
Computations.
This next one is what the occult teach about semen retention.
The study is of no avail unless the
Number one
spiritual
culprit
intuition
for
is
semen
developed
stealing,
by the
Draculas.
purification
No, Draculas are cool.
You can read your books. And
I'm a
your
Dracula.
Draculas and werewolves.
I'm
They
a
wanna suck
Dracula.
your
You
nut
know, I'm
out.
sure we all know about the.
I like
the
that all the
fanatical
semen retention
professors
guys have the
you
best
come into
beards.
contact, but if they are not beginning from a place,
Just the absolute greatest
of
facial hair.
purifying carnal
They're
desire,
bursting with tea.
it's of no use.
No chest hair either.
It's
Welcome back, my
glued
friends.
to his
So I wanted
face.
to share with you something very
Get closer to the
interesting.
camera,
I was
please.
reading
Please get
my
closer to the
new book
camera.
called Serpent.
Can't see you
Recently did a
as
video on
well.
this, but
I
came
even beats
across
a thank
this
you with
chapter
100 bits.
That was intrinsically fascinating, and I thought I would share with you the occultist perspective on semen retention. Now, before
Interesting.
I begin, let me preface this by saying that the occultist religion or philosophy or whatever you want to call it fundamentally
Less
bases
loud,
its
no.
teachings
He doesn't know what
somewhere
any of the
between
words he
science
says mean.
and somewhere between spirituality. I like to think it maybe has one foot in both of these proverbial worlds, but
There's a highway
I
right
wanted
next to him.
Begin with a little
Just hear
analogy
that.
opens up on this chapter, which kind of explains a little bit more of the rationality behind where these teachings are coming from. So we open the scene looking out on a beach, okay, on the unfathomable ocean of life, and the chapter begins to talk about the numerous perspectives on how we look out onto this beach, okay? So we begin with the proud athlete who struts along the boardwalk, showing off his inflated muscles. He's more into his aesthetics and how he looks.
Okay.
And then we come to the scientist who proceeds to exclusively intend upon investigations of whatever the ocean has cast ashore. So he's trying to figure out the rationality behind everything, you know, the things that
He has
come up
no
from the
idea
ocean,
what he just read.
Can, you know, dissect and identify.
I wonder if we're gonna
But
get
then
into
we have the
Julia
artist
Savola,
who registers the impressions
I
of
don't-
what he
Italian
observes
fascist. He
around
wrote
him
some stuff about
and what
cum.
proceeds
The
to
occult.
inspire
I
him.
don't think these guys are smart enough
And then we come to the
to
philosopher
get deeper into
who
anything.
speculates upon the being of the sea and the sky and the land and it all, and the living creatures that are in its cohabitation, I guess you could say. And then we come to the religionist, those who have a practitioner of religion,
Sure.
who in devotional bows his head, adoring the unknown but intrinsically beautiful forces of the magnificent ocean. So he's in awe of the godly work.
Sure.
And then
What does this have to do with semen?
I have no idea.
Psychic, who rests in negative receptiveness, letting the waves touch him whenever the flow comes up. So it's very kinesthetic. He's going with the feeling of it all. The magician is attracting wide attention, trying to make the tide recede by strange manipulations and mighty exercise of the will. We go into a couple more, such as the mystic, who sits in meditative contemplation, and the yogi, who is untroubled by the ocean and
possibly monastic living.
unstirred by the wind and the
She's
drama.
reading. This was the Ranger.
With it all. But
The
then
Ranger
we come
is
to the occultist, okay?
able to keep things
So
far
the
away,
occultist
take down
position on this
issues
speech is that of the life
from a
god,
distance.
okay?
This is the Paladin. The Paladin uses faith
Comes
and
to
prayer.
know this place as his home, his place of work. And with eyes unclosed,
The goblin.
he can go
This guy
down
will steal your
as
cum.
deep into the ocean and
He's
save
going
you
to
long
try to
as he
milk you.
wishes. So this analogy, my friends, you may be wondering why I've kind of prefaced it like this, is that the ocean is indicative of the world around us, the mysterious world around us with so much depth. And the occultist is a professional.
I think you should
in
get
this
closer to the
world,
camera,
which I thought was quite
chat.
interesting. So, how do we come?
Put the camera in your
where
mouth.
we are, in a state of completion, because that's what the occultist is. So,
Ugh.
just expand a little bit more. So,
I thought the
each
state of
the
completion
others
is what we're avoiding.
an incomplete expression of the single aspect
Maybe
of
that's
the
what-
occultist. He
I guess
is
we have
the
to see
synthesis
what he's-
of all these
what he's-
things. So he is the
No
he
pun
is
intended,
the-
coming to.
the physical prowess of
What
the
point he's
athlete.
coming to.
He is the scientist, he is the artist, he is the philosopher, he is the mystic, he is the yogi, he is the psychic.
No, the psychic
these
was different,
titles
right?
Add up, and it is something, very.
I don't know what he's reading
alluring
from
to
or
be
what he's
able to
saying.
come
I
to
could
that
not tell
state
you.
of a kind of eternal master.
Might be in the
So
description,
how
but
do we proceed
I don't care enough to check.
achieve these heights? How do you proceed to be a professional in this?
It sounds like someone reading
mysterious
tarot cards.
aspect of our world, because these all sound like great things. And what is that relation to semen retention? So we're going to get to that in just a moment. So
Please hurry up.
to become a
Almost halfway
cultist
done.
is the epitome of human beings.
Like, you didn't need to read all the other stuff.
We begin to
Yeah, because I said that.
occultists begin to
I wonder
frame
how
the
many of these
journey of
guys
proceeding
would
to
be
go
willing
down
to
these
use a
veins,
chastity
these
cage.
veins of,
I don't
physical
think
attainment, mental
they
attainment,
are, because they're
by
probably
the
lying and
laws
jacking off.
and
But
demands of
I would
the
imagine
purity of
getting a
inner
chastity
life.
cage for your penis would be
If you wish to come to the
key number one.
supreme state of your
That'd be like the
soul,
first thing you would do
must
if you're like, I
purify
don't
both
want to
your
come.
mind
Let me just
and
lock
your
this thing
body
away. Now it can't even get hard.
passions. And it says that for this reason,
They should just
all
put themselves
training
in handcuffs.
occultism has a
Well, that's kind of what the
All the
chastity
time.
cage does. Is
in the,
it puts your penis in a
ascetic,
handcuff.
Okay, this is the
And
But
then-
then they
this is
can't
someone
upload stuff
who,
to YouTube either.
Again, renounces
Well, I guess
all
that's true.
possessions and things, especially and more specifically.
Cornfred
their
Noah, you sit
carnal
in the
pleasures and desire.
you sit in the tub and you just pee,
And what
and
is
then
extremely
wash it down.
interesting, I thought, in this point is that the study
got a
is
pee
of
hole
no
in those
avail
things.
Probably.
unless the spiritual intuition is developed.
Or I guess
by
you could squat over the
purification
toilet
of desire.
and like
You can
try to
read your
aim it, but I
books,
feel
you
like
go on your
just sit down in the
research
shower
papers,
and pee,
I'm sure
and
we
then
all know about the
wash it off.
fanatical professors that we have come into contact.
It might be a little bit of a
with. They're
hassle,
not
but
beginning from a place
these guys are at home
It's not
anyways.
something you should
purifying
do.
Carnal desire. It's of no use.
I think these guys are at home
No use.
anyways.
It's easier
so-
to just not jack off all day.
Yeah, but I guess these guys have
Just
problems, so
expanding again on that. So
you know they need a little bit of help.
Only by the way of purification can the soul acquire
Just sit down in the
perfect
shower and
knowledge of
pee.
all things
You know what? Even if you're
known.
not using a chastity cage, that's
Therefore, the
fine. It's fine to sit in the shower and
not to
pee
be
and
indulged
sit
by him who
for
seeks
30 to 40
know.
minutes. You won't get a yeast infection. It's okay.
It is the reward of the conqueror who vanquishes the foes of his own nature that he has imparted.
It's valid.
in the
Just sit in the
secret
shower for an
of
hour.
knowledge. Again, just to reiterate,
Get a yeast infection in
it
your
is
butt.
the
Yeah.
it is the stepping stone. It is you will not. You cannot
Seagull
begin
Bum,
to
I'm
open
guessing
the door
porn
and
and
travel
YouTube
down
videos.
the route of beginning to get a real grasp of
What
this
are you
world
saying?
first.
I have not paid attention to anything you said.
I'm so lost.
Because I don't get it. He's not talking about
carnal desire,
semen retention
sex,
whatsoever.
masturbation, and all these things.
That's all I care about right now.
Woe
I don't care
is
about
to
the
those
occult.
who dabble in any form of occultist science without first overcoming the more important.
We're 8
faults
minutes in, and he's
their
like not
lower
talking
nature.
about semen
So I
retention
spoke
at all.
about this before. Your carnal desires, lust, is predicated on your lower nature. It's animalistic. It keeps you in
The
your
occult is just
lower
made
form.
up stuff.
We spoke about
Yeah,
the
he's just reading
Uncoiling
like
Serpent,
Harry
what
Potter
this book is
and
called, but the
equating it to
snake
the
is
semen
indicative of
retention.
Your sexual energy, your prana, as it
Even
were,
if it
your
was
life
making
force.
sense, it's so
And if you are
stupid.
constantly spilling that
Some
out
guy in the
to,
Middle Ages who wrote a
you know,
book
sex
about
addiction
magic
or
and
alcohol
alchemy
addiction, whatever the
said
case
something
may
about
be,
coming.
You're keeping yourself in your lower animal. Okay, you will not be able to.
Big boy, he hasn't
bring
even
that energy,
said
that
semen
prana
retention,
up
has he? I don't
to
know.
the
I
inception
have not been
point
paying
where
attention
you,
whatsoever. I'm
are joined
lost.
with spirit. Okay, if you're always operating from that lower nature. Whoever, after having pledged himself to occultism, indulges in the gratification of terrestrial lust will feel the utmost immediate result
I wanna
of being
smoke.
dragged down.
He's making me wanna
from the
smoke a big cigarette.
impersonal, divine state down to the lower plane of matter. Again, so I mentioned this again.
I want to stuff a
previous
didgeridoo
video
with
that
tobacco and smoke the whole
sexuality
thing.
is the antithesis.
Need to put
of
tobacco in my
spirituality.
bong and smoke it.
Sexuality is lower, spirit is higher.
I just
okay?
want to hit a cigar as
The
fast
world
as
is
possible.
governed by dualism, by opposites. If you are to have any kind of experience with its
I just want to
opposite
smoke
intrinsic
my cigarettes
other,
inside of
we
my
must-
apartment.
We must transmute that opposite pole to the other.
Okay.
When you're cold, you want to be hot. If you want to get to a spiritual plane, you must subdue is the wrong word, but you must transmute the sexual to the spiritual. Okay.
I'm sending all of my
Just
cum to
conclude
God.
this chapter here. So the
I'm
sooner
saying-
the animal sexual
I'm
effects
going
are
from
given up,
sexual to
the
spiritual.
sooner will come
God,
the manifestation
Father,
of
Jesus,
higher occult.
you can have my cum, take my cum,
That can,
take my cum from me, and still within me, your blessing and your power. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in and learning a lot today about semen retention.
All right.
I hope you take these practices with you this weekend.
It's all
and-
fake.
No, it's real, and it's very important that you engage in this. All right, we will be on later. Bye.